dark room today for the yellow and red filter shoot, which actually was not about the yellow and red filters in the end. It really was the case of the very overly curious camels. I was honestly scared for some time there. Please watch the video and you might understand why. I didn't grow up around camels. I don't know what they're thinking. But it turned out to be absolutely fantastic. What a wonderful experience. They were just absolute sweethearts. And in the end, I'm scratching chins and cheeks, and it was so much fun. I'm going to go back for the other parts and hopefully get some pictures on that coastal area on clear sunny days when I know that the filter experiment will probably give me better results. But the camel experience was so much fun. So the darkroom session is all about camels. I like what I see across the negatives from the different filters I used, and I will study these a bit more in the future to get a better idea of the no filter, yellow filter, and red filter and how it affects the image. But I'm not concerned with these. I have some other negatives that I want to make prints of today. In fact, the day wasn't about the filters. The day was about the camels. It was absolutely wonderful. What an experience. So I'm going to pick 2 or 3 of these to make my prints today about the case of the curious camels. On the left, we have the test print at 5x7 and another test print at 5x7. This one, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. You can see though that it lacks depth. Its tonal variation is weak, rather flat, and I was using a 1.5 grade contrast filter. For the second image, you can see it's very different. The blacks are strong and built. The tonal scale across the camels is much stronger, and we have an overall just more depth and power in the image basically. And that is by using a 2.5 grade filter. You can see the difference in the colors. It filters light to create your stronger contrast, or below number 2 starts reducing contrast, and that helps depending on the negative and what you want to do. I like, of course, more contrast. Clearly, this is going the right direction. So I'm going to follow this path and try and get a shot on the 8x10 Ilford. Have the first negative into the enlarger. This is the one I'd like to do first. I think that is absolutely adorable, super cute. Let's get it done on an 8x10. I think I'll call it a day right there. It's getting a little bit late. Don't have more time, but there are 2 more prints that I would love to be able to do from these camels. So far, I'm pretty happy with what I've gotten. I'm really liking this one. It's just super cute and adorable. A bit of a struggle, but I think I nailed it, except for I had to fix a little bit of a speck on the eye. I don't like when you get a dust spot and you're just using material. But all done, all good. I got at least 1 right now. I might make a couple more for the future. But I need to get back in here tomorrow and finish up what I want from the case of the curious camels. All right, I'm back in the darkroom for another session of the curious camel prints, but I'm actually going to take a small break before I get back into that. A very good friend of mine has been so kind as to offer some support to my endeavors. Any little bit helps, and asked me to make him a print of this, the monolith, as I call it. One of probably my absolute favorite picture I've taken in my time in Salalah. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade him to 11 by 14 print. So I'm going to do that first and then get back into some camel pictures. So cute, absolutely adorable, love it. But let's get the monolith done first. That first one, just a little bit overexposure, just off a bit, but on the second one, I would say I nailed it. That is right where I want to be. Just a touch of hard black in the shadows, and then some beautiful contrasts through the monolith. And this right here is not a total mistake. This was something I tried to do on purpose. Exposed it, put it in the developer shortly, took it out of the developer, let it run for a little bit, exposed it to light to burn out the whole thing, then stopped it and fixed it. I think it's looking pretty cool. This obviously is not the clear, beautiful print that most people would want, but being in a darkroom is all about experimenting and seeing what happens when you do something different than the standard rules. So I really like this one. It's going to go in my wall in my office. And with that said, I am now going to get back into the camels. I'm going to do one more print from the camel negatives. There's this beautiful one with the two camels looking at each other, making like a little arch, and in between, in the background, are a few other camels on the beach. I really like that one, so that's the next one I'm going to do. Great results today. I absolutely adore this photograph. Might be my favorite of the camel pictures. Just the cutest thing in the world. And great framing of the camels in the background right between the trees. This was not planned. It's hard to make a camel be a model and stop and look for you. They just do what they do. That's what a camel does. I made 2 of these prints. Sorry, they're still a little bit wet. If you would like to help support my work and what I do and the fun that I try to have, these prints from the Darkroom Sessions are available to buy. 8 by 10, this size, is 7 Rial. If you would like a large size print of anything that I do as well, this can also be done for 10 Rial. Bigger is better for many of the cameras I use. And lastly, oh, this one's super wet. This one, which looks like a mess of a mess, but I think it's fantastic. It's a lot of fun to experiment and just be creative and see what happens. And the result, I think, is pretty cool. This one's for me. I'm going to keep this one and try to do some more creative stuff in the future. So that is it for the Case of the Curious Camels. I hope you enjoyed the day out and the Darkroom Session. Remember, please subscribe and like. Up next is a trip to Ain Arzouk. It's going to be a beautiful hike up into the mountains, down into a river valley. I'm going to be looking for some landscapes, maybe some reflections off some pools if I get lucky. I don't know, but if you want to see that adventure, please make sure you subscribe to get that reminder. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.